looking at them going, man, I bet Jasmine and Lois would look real cute in like a little sundress like this.
No sundress.
No, but then you have grandkids and it's even worse.
No sundress.
Is that right?
It's very true. Yeah. 'Cause at least with my own kids, just like you're like, you look for those moments when you're like, oh, I need a break, whatever.
Yeah.
Even worse with your grandkids because you never need a break. You're like, okay, what can I do for you? When can I have her? You know, all those things. It's totally different. It's even worse. Yeah.
My mom borrowed money from me to buy my kids stuff.
I believe it.
That's freaking dope, man. That's a G
Yeah.
right there, dude.
Yep.
Let's see. We got Joel Shilpe. Joel, this literally does us no good. We can't see your beautiful, handsome, masculine face.
No, I'm wondering about.
You look
I
like
feel like we
Joel.
should have the anonymous voice.
Joel, exactly, dude. That's what I was just about to say. I was like, Joel looks like he's about ready to get interrogated, man.
That or
want
it's like
anybody
you
to
getting
see.
ready to report like a cartel drug crime. He's like, they were behind the shit.
All right.
Hello.
Let's see.
There we
Let's see
go.
what we can do to get everybody in here.
All right, here we go.
Joel, what up, dog?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you.
Really nice.
How's the weekend for you, bro?
Doing nice. More people, networking, connecting with others. Loving it.
Good, man. Dude, Luke, what's up, bro?
The pressure is on right now. Like, I know we're live, but I'm like, I have to be like, I'm like, what am I gonna say?
Say whatever's in your heart, homie.
Yep.
You can say whatever it is. Who else we got in here? We got Luke is here. Oh, where the crap? Oh, there we go.
I just saw your comment, Joe. Cracking up.
Oh shoot, that private chat is funny, dude.
Oh,
It is.
love it.
Here we go. We're getting a handful. We got getting a handful of more people in here. Awesome, dude. Luke, we're supposed to be. I don't know. Have you guys seen Luke's logo for his new company?
Yes, that shit
Dude.
was awesome.
Yep.
Sick, bro. Yeah, I love it. Amazing job, Luke.
If there's one thing that like symbolizes Luke, it is that logo, bro. That was the
100%, man.
coolest thing I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Luke, we're supposed to be doing the 75 hard challenge together right now, and I haven't seen any screenshots from you.
Oh man, 75-day hard. Let's talk about
75 hard. Joel, we're supposed to be doing that too.
Oh.
Kyle, what up, bro?
it. Yeah, we are.
Oh my gosh, dude. Diet Coke. That's the thing. that
drinking
keeps me
Coke?
going, man. What's that?
You're drinking Coke,
Yeah, well, Diet Coke.
but still Coke.
Calorie free, sugar free.
Yuck.
You think?
Equally bad for you.
Yeah.
What's it going, bro? Hey, Joel, I forgot. How many kids do you have again?
10.
Everybody out here who's a parent, they know what I'm talking about. So, real quick, guys, we're experiencing a little bit of technical difficulties. But for everybody who's watching right now, we wanted to kind of jump on here, and we're going to have a handful of the people who are going through the Growth Co right now. Kind of wanted to jump on and talk a little bit more about the program, where, kind of share some insights on what everybody's learned and where they are in their business, how they've kind of taken a lot of the things that we're going over and been intentional with it, and hear more about what everybody else is doing in their business. What do they need, and where can we all kind of come in to alignment together and do some cool stuff, make some freaking money together. So we're just kind of waiting for, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. So we're waiting for a few more people to jump in here real quick. First world problems. But when you guys were initially jumping in, we were just talking about, being a parent, and Carlin was sharing that James is at home freaking making all the monies and doesn't have to worry about the kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's funny how, like, when you leave, you're like, oh man. Like, me and my wife do it all the time too. Like with date night, we go out and we spend all night talking about the kids. We're eating dinner, talking about the kids, the funny shit they did over the week.
Well, they are your whole life. I mean, let's be realistic here. Great.
It's one of those things, man, where I know Angel and Carla, and I know we've talked about this before, but it's one of those things where you look back at your life and you reminisce on memories and things that you did, things that were fun, and you're like, man, you know what? Those were the good old days. But then you didn't acknowledge it. Like, you don't know that you're in the good old days when you're in the good old days, only after that passes. And being a parent is kind of the same way, man. Like, you're in the middle of World War III, bro. Shit's going off. The house looks like a tornado freaking ripped through it. Your wife is trying to get she's texting you and blowing your shit up, saying, hey, the kids are yelling and stuff, and I got to go to work tonight. And you go out there and you got spaghetti hanging out, dripping from the ceilings and all this other kind of stuff, and you just can't wait till date night comes. And then date night comes, and all you do is spend all of date night talking about the monstrosity that you live through.
Yeah, it's true.
The thing with kids, dude, it's one of my favorite pieces of content that I've kind of seen floating around social media. But there's a gentleman from the Mormon church, and he was talking about fingerprints. I know, just being a parent and a grandparent, we've talked about this a lot as well. Just you see those fingerprints, and you walk out of the office and you see the World War III happening, but you never take the time to acknowledge that, hey, you know what? You're going to miss the fingerprints on the windows. You're going to miss the lasagna sauce dripping from the ceiling. You're going to miss, all the toys and stuff and Legos all kind of scattered around the house. And so,
you guys are not going to see that newborn scrunch, that when they're like 2 weeks old, they like scrunch up when you're picking them up. By the way, I held my first baby in the last meetup.
You held your first baby?
Yep. I was like so obsessed with the baby. It was like, I was like, oh my God, this is a real baby.
Not at all.
Half the meetup, I was like literally trying to like circling around the baby, just trying to spend some time with the baby.
Dude, but it's crazy though, because when you have new babies, like, first of all, you don't realize the new babies have a smell until you're away from new babies and then get around them and you're like, oh, and it makes your brain do some weird things. But I was walking through the hospital today. I had a doctor's appointment. There was this baby that was just screaming. And any mom knows and any dad knows, new babies have a very specific cry. And so I looked over and I was walking by, and this woman was frantic trying to get this baby to stop screaming. And I just looked by and it like melted my heart. I was like, oh, new baby. And she heard me. And like, you could just see the instant demeanor change. Like, she just relaxed significantly. Because she was like, as a parent, you're like panicking. You're like, oh no, my kids are driving everyone nuts. And especially when you're a new parent you don't know what you're doing with the baby. You don't know what you're doing with your life. And you don't know how other people are going to respond. And so it's just crazy to see like this tiny little human being, like no clue in the world, these parents with also no clue in the world. And the cry just like, it did something, man. I was like, no more babies, but that was adorable.
You'll have plenty of grandbabies to enjoy later on.
Yeah, not for like, we're aiming for like 26 years. That's about the time I'm okay with new babies.
It's like the grandbabies it's like your parents will treat the grandbabies much more different than you.
Yes.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Because it's like they're not raising you anymore. Now it's just like the joy.
Yeah,
of
they get cut
kids.
off. There's no gifts, no money, none of that. It all goes to the grandkid now.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's the way it is.
Some of the stuff that my parents do with my kids, I'm just like, man, what the heck?
You never
I'm
let me
gonna
do
be
that.
honest. I didn't get the
What?
grandparent experience. I wish I got the grandparent experience, but I did not, unfortunately. But I heard a lot of good stories about them, so kind of makes
Yeah.
me sad in a way.
Yeah, it's your
Also-
opportunity. Every grandparent's opportunity to do all the shit you didn't do with your own kids and get it right. You know? It's fantastic. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Joel, look at this, bro. You're a freaking celebrity over here, bro. Everyone's like, Joel, what up, Joel?
Yep.
He said, "Yep."
What up, dog? He's
I'm like, okay, how do I
Yeah.
respond? I'm like,
yeah, they know me. They know me.
don't put me on the spot.
Those are just my peeps, man. Bobby and Kyle, what up, bro? That's awesome, dude. Well, Joel, since you're our celebrity guest here, bro, we'll just kind of start with you, man. Is that okay?
sure.
Hell yeah, bro. So we've been going at this for 8 weeks now. This is so weird. I'm still getting used to like all the different thingies here. So we've been going on here for 8 weeks, man. Share with everybody kind of a little bit about where you were prior to starting this course. Like, what is your business model? Not currently, not right now, but what was it 8 weeks ago? What was it that you were doing? What was it you were trying to accomplish? Got Freddie stuffing his face over here.
That's what Freddie's trying to accomplish.
There we go. We'll stick with this one. Yeah, share with everybody just a little bit about what you were working on 8 weeks ago. Before
so 8
starting
weeks ago,
before starting
I was
this.
all over the place. Like
You were all over the place? What does that mean?
Yep. I wasn't focused. I was like trying to do 10 things at once. Tried doing everything myself. It didn't go anywhere.
What kind of stuff were you doing?
Like I jumped from trying to call agents, then I jumped into trying to connect with people, then I jumped in like trying to do like multifamily, then I tried jumping from multifamily into foreclosures, and that was like for a day, and then I jumped into something else. I wasn't consistent with anything that past before that 8 weeks.
So had you set any like goals aside or anything like that to work on, or you had?
This is the first time like everything during this whole 8 weeks, every little flaw of me came out. Like what I have to change, what I have to do, where I have to focus, the people I need to contact, and how intentional I have to be. The biggest one was leading with value. You know, like when people reach out to you, right? They're like, "Can I pick your brain, please?" It's a big turnoff, right?
And just in the sense that like you don't necessarily have time for like one-on-ones with like everybody who reaches out, right?
That's what I mean.
Right.
I mean, like we have to be more intentional with what we do with our time. So like earlier, I wasn't as intentional. I was just all over the place, not focused. But then during these 8 weeks, I was really literally breaking down my avatar. I mean, I was really slow. I'm not gonna lie. I probably was slower than other people in the group, right? Because this was like years of this. I'm talking years of stuff.
Yeah,
and we broke down into 8 weeks. Like all the stuff I had to fix in that 8 weeks span. So it's like it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt, but it was like a good way of tough. It's like it broke you down into such a way that everything is in front of you. Like, you know, and now I knew I had to be more intentional with my time. I had to talk to more people directly and like what I wanted. I had to learn to lead with value. That was the biggest part. So like leading with value is like what value I have, what's my avatar, and how I can bring value to the other person. And same time spreading my and being focused on one thing. And the biggest lesson I got from that was the stuff you don't have to do everything. Literally in schools, they tell you have to be good at everything, right? Like
right.
They tell you to focus on the weaknesses or like the subjects you're shit at, right? Sorry, no cursing, but
Oh, you're good, dude. You're good. This is an adult platform.
but they tell. But seriously, like schools are like telling us you have to do every single thing. If you have an F in this, good. You have to fix that. But if you have an A+ in history and you suck at math, they're like you have to focus on the math. So what I'm trying to say is like when you're struggling, you gotta focus on what you're the best at, and then take what you're best at. That's your value. You lead with that, and then you bring other people who are better than you at the thing you're lacking onto your team, and then you feel like a team together.
Mm.
That was the
Yep.
biggest concept for me, because I hated. I mean, I didn't hate it. I love working with people. I love relationships, but
Yeah.
in my head, it was like I had to do everything myself because
I think a lot of us feel like that, bro. You know, especially
Yeah.
when you're starting out. I mean, when we think about how we were raised, what our mindset was surrounding, school. I mean, school is a perfect example, bro. You know, we were
Yeah.
talking about this, I think on Monday, as a matter of fact, and we've talked about it a little bit throughout the course as well. But school is just a great example because, so much of our mindset issues and bad habits we pick up during those pivotal parts in our
Exactly.
teenage and early upbringing years. You know, we think about money differently. I've shared this with a handful of people before, but growing up, money in itself was legit treated like a 4-letter word. And I use that example all the time because my mom, it's so ingrained into me from my mom, dude. She was like, we do not use 4-letter words. We didn't. And I'm like, Mom, what the hell's a 4-letter word? And she's like, cuss words. Like most cuss words are 4-letter words. Those are words we don't say in my house, or I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. And so money was always treated as if it was a 4-letter word. You don't talk about money. You don't ask about money. You don't ask somebody how much they're making. And for my entire life, the only way that I thought you could legit go and get more money was either going to school or in a promotion or just, or working overtime, just working more, just trading more of your time for money.
How about robbing a bank too?
I was taught to do everything myself. It's like
Mary, I'm not having this conversation. I'm recorded.
I was taught to do everything myself. Otherwise, you're dumb.
Well,
Yeah.
That's how I kind of grew up with.
I mean, not only that, but think about it. Like in school, one of the things they said, okay, you're going to be tested on this.
Yep.
In life, at no point are they like, go sit in this room by yourself and fill out this questionnaire. And if someone helps you, you're not getting the job. Like
Exactly.
at no point in life have I ever experienced that. So that's great. A great way to look back and reflect and be like, oh shit. So I've been programmed to think that I have to know everything by myself. I have to be able to do everything by myself. I have to think by myself. I can't ask someone for help or I'm not going to get the help I need. And if I don't know it, then I'm not going to succeed.
Exactly.
Like that's the foundation. So the program that Freddie and I were in high school was the exact opposite. And I have no idea for the life of me why more schools in the country aren't operating like this. But the classes we were in, they were like, hey, if you don't know, ask your peers. If they don't know, go read a book and find the answer. Like at no point
Love
were
that.
we ever encouraged to work by ourselves because that's not the way life operates.
Exactly.
And
That's
it's just-
interesting.
yeah, no, we never took tests. Everything we did was solely around the way we learned. So
Yeah.
I'm a visual hands-on learner. So if you look in my house,
Same
like I
here.
was telling you the other day, Jesse, like I've got art all over my house because when I look at it, it reminds me of what I'm supposed to be working on.
Mhm.
Freddie's technologically advanced. So in school, he was doing all this computer crap that I don't know anything about.
While the rest of us were writing like boobs on the calculator and turning it upside down,
That was all.
or 4311, and then
Yeah.
you turn it upside down.
For
Freddie
hell.
was back there actually like building shit. The rest of us were.
Freddie was typing paragraphs on the calculator because he had,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of those big ones that you could do
Oh,
like
those.
the entire algebraic expression.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
that's-
had those. I was
No.
writing weird stuff on those.
Yeah.
You know, it's
like,
funny that you guys brought up school though, because Carlin, like you said, you brought up testing, for example. I think testing is a great example of this. you know, especially when you're going from that W-2 mindset into an entrepreneurial mindset, that is the hardest part of this entire process. Like breaking free of those limiting beliefs and understanding that, hey, somebody else did this, and guess what? You have the ability to go and do this as well.
Mm-hmm.
And just understanding about money differently, understanding about how to leverage debt differently. You know, like you said as well, Joel, like learning how to lead with value. Because most people are like, hey, you know what? I want to make this whole thing about me. Hey, can I pick your brain and you tell me everything and I'll buy you lunch? Right? That's not leading with value. And so, yeah, it's just amazing these different paradigm shifts that have to happen. And school testing is a great one of them, because when you're being graded in school, everything that you are doing is being graded against somebody else's success.
Standardized.
Right? It's all standardized. It's all the average on a state and federal level of what these students in this grade range or in this age range is doing.
And you know what's funny?
What's up, Freddie?
I'm sorry.
Hold on, yeah, a second. So I want to hear from everybody here right now one thing that you've done within the last 8 weeks that represents leading with value. One thing from everybody. I will go. Want me to?
So I just love helping people, and the biggest, or one of the biggest concepts we focus on through the duration of this is teach to learn. So I mean, Freddie and Jesse were getting messages from me while I was on my drive, like, "Hey, did you guys know this about bananas?" And no, seriously, I learned today that a banana is technically a berry, and I totally would have spaced like that. Stupid. I would have lost that in seconds if I hadn't taken like 30 seconds to record a message to Freddie and Jesse and been like, "Hey guys, did you know a banana tree is actually an herb?" Like, no one needs to know that, but I taught it to someone and now it's stuck. You're welcome, everybody.
Life that bananas are a berry and the tree is an herb. I will always, for the rest of my life, remember that now, Carlin.
You're welcome.
But Joel, and we'll get back to Freddie's point as well. I think that's what we're going to get back to that throughout the rest of the live. But Joel, you were about to say something. We were talking about school and just kind of standardized testing and how. So because of those thought processes, once people start to, once they decide that they want to, start a business, they get caught up in that trap of, oh, well, I see what John is doing on social media and he's doing way more than I'm doing. And so I start feeling like a failure and woe is me. And I just don't know. And what am I missing? And then you get caught in this trap of thinking I'm doing something wrong, or maybe I'm not doing enough. And so back to your point, Joel, like you were saying in the beginning, people are like, if I want to have these grandiose things manifest, then in my head, I just need to be busy as fuck. And so they start doing everything. They get back into that wheel and they start doing everything themselves.
That's the worst thing if you do everything yourself. You're going to be stuck on a hamster wheel and you're going to do nothing. Ask how I know.
You've been there.
Ask how I know. And it hit me until last week because every single person has been telling me this for the past year almost. They're like, okay, you got to pick your niche. You got to pick one thing, focus on it. So it really, that's the key. You gotta know what you're best at and be the best at it, and then keep doing it. Even lead with that. And then the things you're bad at, bring someone else on it.
Mm-hmm.
So why is that so important, do you guys think? You guys see everybody else who is trying to just do everything themselves. They get caught up in this trap of, I've got to do everything. And a lot of times it's because they don't want to share the watermelon, so to speak. Sometimes it's scarcity minded a little bit. They don't want to give up a part of a $20,000 assignment fee to somebody else. But what they don't realize is that we've all got the same 24 hours. How would Donald Trump go and build all of New York, or how would Grant Cardone or Pace Morby do all of these things if they were like, no, every wholesale fee has to be mine and it's got to be all of mine and I've got to do everything. You can't build a company like that. You can't build a business like that. You end up being just an employee. But what were you guys' thoughts? I'd like to kind of open this up a little bit more to everybody else. What are some of the mindset struggles surrounding scarcity and having and wanting to do all of it yourself? Did anybody have any sort of those mindset issues at all, or not really? Was that not one of them for you?
Another one.
Totally did.
Say what?
What
I
is
said,
it?
I totally did. I mean,
Yeah.
that's like,
I
I mean,
think it was
my
for me.
problem was, I think, a lot different than walking into this coaching program from some of the others, because I had been doing this already for a while. My lifestyle, my money, it was already kind of sustained. I was doing it. I was making it every week. And, it just so happened that during this one, I hit a really bad bump, like 5 deals in a row fell through, and I bottomed out. And for me, I thought my world was over. I mean, I hadn't run into that before. So my mindset went in the garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, had it not been for me being in this program at that time, I think I would have just totally lost my shit. I mean, honestly, I don't know any nicer way to say it. So this for me, has definitely enabled me to learn how to keep control of my mind through the ups and downs, because it was the first time that I'd actually experienced a down in decades. So that was a big deal to me. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
I just want to add on to what Angel was saying. I like the relationships that we've been able to build together. Like, I know that I can call any one of you guys and be like, hey guys, I'm having an absolute shit day. And there were times that I'd be on the phone just bawling with Angel. Like, I am so stressed. I am so tired. And it was
Me
just
too, by
kind
the
of
way.
it was uplifting to have that familial bond, so to speak. Like, it's been nice to be able to be like, even though Angel's good at this and I'm good at this, and Freddie's good at this, and Michael's good at this, and Mary and Joel and everyone has their own thing. I can still call any of you guys and be like, hey, it's a day.
Please remind me to fail forward, right?
So it's been a great bond as well.
Yeah.
Carlin, you talked about the teach to learn thing, because to Freddie's question, he was like, hey, well, what's everybody doing to lead with value? And I love the whole teach to learn thing because it teaches so many different things on multiple facets in one gesture, in one activity. And for everybody who's watching who doesn't know, like, what is that? What is the teach to learn? Why do we do it? How do people benefit from it on both sides, you think?
The benefit of teaching to learn is just being able to understand the concept to the point that you can actually go out and teach it. So, I had no idea, honestly. Like, I'm one of those people that I can find ways to bullshit my way through something. Like, I can bullshit my way through anything, and you'd never know. And it would be crushing my self-esteem simultaneously. But when I actually kind of like started focusing down on what I liked doing and what I was good at, it became much easier for me to feel confident about what I was teaching, but also be able to focus on one thing to teach. So I don't know, the teach to learn thing makes a lot of sense to me, because I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I can go out and tell someone about something and feel good about knowing what I'm talking about, versus like trying to just confuse myself in 500 different directions and being really scatterbrained. And it just really hones in on, hey, you need to learn this concept, and if you teach it to someone, that's going to really solidify your understanding of that one thing you're trying to teach.
Yes,
100%.
reinforcement of what you know already. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like I'm bullshitting my way through it at this point anymore.
If you guys didn't catch this, one of the cool things that we do in here every single week is a thing called Teach to Learn. And so every single week we're going through different concepts, and we bring about, you know, different action steps and things like that throughout the course, throughout the entire 8 weeks. And one of the homework assignments everybody has once a week is called Teach to Learn. And one of the things that I found out about from an instructor standpoint, when I was in the Air Force, when they sent me down to learn how to be an instructor, I found out that, hey, you know what? One of the best ways to learn something is to go back and to teach it to somebody. Because if you don't know it well enough to be able to articulate it to where somebody else can take that information and actually go be productive with it, go implement it, then you don't know it well enough. And so one of the things that we do every single week is we talk about a new concept or a new skill or a new habit. We practice it in class. And then part of everybody's homework assignment for that week is to go find somebody else who would benefit. Just one person. They don't have to be in the class. They don't have to be in sub 2. Doesn't matter who it is. Could be the mom. Could be your dog. Probably not your dog. You probably want some feedback. But it could be anybody short of your dog. And show them, you know, maybe it's learning how to reframe goals. Maybe it's learning really how to get very meticulous about what your avatar is and what money-making activities are and how you can start time blocking your day to maximize your return on investment for the effort that you're putting in every single day. Because like we were talking about, we all got the same 24 hours. So it's very, very important that we have to get very clear on our goals, the things that we are good at, where we're going to lead with value, how we are going to serve people, and how we're going to, you know, serve and grow our business. And in order to learn these concepts to the max, certainly in a high enough way to where it can be implemented, we're having everybody go out and find somebody who would benefit from learning these concepts. Just one, not all of them, but every week they go find one other person to be able to share this with. And to Freddie's question earlier, that's one way that you know, everybody finds a way where they can be serving and giving, and at the same time, it allows everybody in the program to learn these concepts at such a high level that they can take them, they can go implement them, they can grow them, you know, they can shape them any way they want in their business because they understand them at that level. So I thought that was something that was really neat, and it's been super awesome to kind of see the fruits of these kind of manifest and how it's not only impacted everybody in the program, but impacted, you know, everybody outside of the program as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Did any one of you guys have a particular story or experience being able to take some of these stuff and go and teach it to somebody else?
Definitely.
You'd like to share?
Like, you know what's so funny?
Yeah.
This brought me more business opportunities than anything else. Like,
Say that again?
I went to a title company to partner with.
Okay.
It's literally teaching them what we're learning. Like, I was talking about teamwork, partnership, and that and that built so much credibility. Oh my God, they know I'm not doing this stuff alone. So that built so much credibility with them. They're like, all right, let's do this. We know you have partners. We know you have people on you. They're like, let's work together. We want to make money together.
Hold on, Joel. Let me just get some clarification here, man. This is the first time I'm hearing this side of a story like this. Hold on a second. So you're taking the stuff that we've been going over for the last 8 weeks, and not only are you taking it to somebody else, not even an individual, but you're calling title companies and you're sharing with them what you're doing, what you're learning, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. We want to freaking work with you. We clearly we love what you're doing. You're leading with value. You're approaching us and saying, hey, I want to bring more business through your door. Exactly. And they're like, Joel, clearly you're not working by yourself. Clearly you're doing things at a higher level. We want to work with you too. Am I understanding that right? Is there any part of that I missed, bro?
Yep, that was it. Because the reason is because we have people. They know, because everyone knows we're working with people together. like you have a backing of people. You're gonna close. You're gonna do everything.
Yep.
And especially when you have credit partners and you can buy properties with nothing out of your pocket, like zero, literally zero. You don't need shit. That's the best part about everything. Like I can just go to like for example, we're doing a watermelon challenge, right? I can go to Jake. I can get, if the property is good, the deal is good, we can leverage credit. We can split everything together. We can work with anybody. This is the best part about this business. You don't need anything. You just need to know the people and what you're good at.
Wow, dude. So how has understanding that, how has that kind of shaped how you pivoted in your business now? Because you've kind of given us a little bit of context prior to joining the program. We've talked about the program a little bit, but where are you at right now, dude? I mean, you're calling freaking title companies. They've clearly got you on speed dial.
So now I learned I'm a direct referral guy. It took me, hold on, what's the date today? 6/28, right? Yeah. So I started around December of 2021. So it took me around 1.5 years to finally discover what my avatar is. 1.5 years. But because of that, I discovered I'm good at referrals. I'm good at relationships, and I just love working with people. So because working with people is what I like to do, we go to the people we want to do business with, right? We try to lead with value. We try to bring them something, and then the stuff we're not good at, we go to someone else for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I learned, like there's so many sub-2 closers, right? There's so many private money lenders. There's so many people who can manage your properties.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you don't need anything. You just need to know how to lead with value.
Would you say that's probably been your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, that's definitely my biggest takeaway. Leading with value.
Dude, I love that, bro. Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing, dude. This is awesome. I'm kind of finding out a little bit of you're kind of filling in the cracks for me as well, man. This is awesome.
Now,
I didn't know to the extent that you've been taking action on this and the relationships that you're building from this, dude. This is phenomenal.
Now let's see if this gets me a
proud
wife.
of you. Say that again.
Let's see if this gets me a wife.
It worked for Monique. It could probably work for you too.
Oh, dude, Joel,
Yeah,
dude, take the opportunity right now, man. Your wife might be watching, bro.
Believe me, there's so many opportunities.
Oh no!
You
out.
scared him. You scared him.
Oh, dude, no, I see his connection is
Yeah.
trying to figure out what it's doing.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was gonna be so good too, dude.
Oh.
Michael, what's up, dog?
Mhm.
Hey, to piggyback a little bit off what Joel said,
Yeah.
you're always saying who, not how.
Mhm.
It just makes things a lot more efficient. When you start the real estate journey, there's about 50,000 things that need to be done from getting a deal from A to Z. And I think, the more people realize that there's a community out there that, people have specific skills. So instead of, you trying to find the deal and then underwrite the deal and then comp the deal and then try to close the deal, the quicker that you can learn that you can reach out to people, it's just a lot more efficient. It's a lot more scalable too. If you're spending all your time on one deal, then it falls through and you spent 30 days on it, you don't have anything in the pipeline because you're trying to work that whole deal out. But Joel nailed it on the head to where, he knows a lot of people now. So if somebody comes to him and he can kind of point them in the right direction to where they need to go to be successful.
Dude, Joel, I think Joel knowing a lot of people is an understatement, bro. Did you see him when he jumped in here? He had fans, bro. Everybody was jumping on. They're only here for Joel, dude.
Joel's fan club, boy.
Joel's got. I wouldn't be surprised if someone's outside taking Joel's picture as soon as he comes out of his house, man. Michael, no, to your point though, bro. Why do you think most people are not leveraging their community?
I think it's the syndrome of you don't want to be the dumbest person in the room, maybe. And that's kind of where I like to be. because there's just so much to know, and you kind of feel like you're not bringing anything to the table when you talk to somebody. So it's a little, you're probably a little bit shy to kind of reach out to somebody, because when you start, you don't know anything. You don't know what you don't know. So it's like, if you don't know what to bring to the table to bring value to somebody, you're probably a little hesitant to kind of reach out. And then if you don't do that, you're not going to learn. And it's just going to be one of those things where I'm going to move on to something else.
Facebook user right here says, that's me. Absolutely. I'm super confident at the process. And then once time to execute, I'm chickening out. And that's when I'm messaging Jesse Helm. I wish I knew who this was, man. I wish I knew who this was. So what would you, what kind of, oh man, I can't believe the word just escaped me, dude. Today's been a day, man. Words are just leaving my brain today. Well, advice, that's the word I'm looking for. What kind of advice would you give to somebody who's kind of sitting right there? They're like, man, I don't want to come off as dumb. I'm trying to start this business. I don't know. I have no idea what to do.
I think, everybody starts at ground zero. Everybody starts somewhere to where you have to get past that fear of feeling dumb. The majority of people, especially in sub 2, man, they're such go-givers that even if you feel dumb, you're the only one thinking that. They're not sitting there saying, wow, this person is, I can't even believe that they don't know this, because, we all start somewhere. So I think the biggest thing is just getting over that hurdle. And it's tough. I mean, it's something, and I think this group has helped everybody through, certain fears that they have. But you just have to break through. You know what I mean? I mean, look at Larry, for example. That guy has been busting through, and he's pushing. And I cannot wait to see him break through, because, man, it just seems like nothing's going to stop him. He's missing flights. He don't have a place to stay, this and that. But he just keeps on bringing it. And it's just, the day is coming for Larry.
Dude, I'm convinced, man, that when you look resiliency up in the dictionary, dude, it should have Larry's picture.
He's there, next to it, dude. For sure.
He is, dude. He is. And it's awesome to see. You mentioned, I think this is another great point, dude, that you mentioned. And I know for me, it was one thing, and maybe a lot of you guys, and maybe everybody watching can relate with this as well. But you mentioned that, when you reach out to other people who are doing more than you, and you're worried about coming off stupid or feeling dumb, I think we've all kind of been there. Again, consequently, just as a byproduct of, how we were raised. It's like that, dude. In the W-2 in the corporate world, man, like, you think high school, when you get out of high school, man, you think high school ends, and it doesn't end, dude. Like, everybody is just, they gossip. It's negativity. It's a piss poor mindset. It's just everything, man. And it's draining at the same time. So it's easy to see why people would be hesitant to want to reach out and ask for help, because they don't want to feel dumb. They don't want to feel like people are talking shit about them because they don't know this or don't know that. But dude, it's like you said, though, everybody who's above you, though, like, they're so busy with their own shit. Like, they don't even have time to talk shit, man.
No.
And when people come to them and ask for help, they are more than willing and able to lend a hand. And it's such a paradigm shift, bro. Like, the other side of the road, and getting on this path, and with the right people, and surrounding yourself with the right, community. Gosh dang, man, there's just nothing more powerful, I don't think, than having an entire group of people that do nothing but want to serve you and want to lift you up in ways that you never thought imaginable, man. But some of those mindset fucking I guess issues, like that, like thinking that, man, people are just talking shit about me if I don't know this, and I don't want to go to them for help. It's always the people that are doing less than you that are talking shit. It's never the people that are doing more than you. And I know for me specifically, especially when I was, leaving the Air Force, and I had family telling me not to leave the Air Force. I had mentors in the Air Force that were telling me not to leave. I had friends, I had peers that were telling me not to leave. It was stupid. It was risky. It was this, that, and the other. But everybody else, man, was like, dude, Jesse, like, why didn't you leave 10 years ago, bro? Why are you settling for a life so short and so small, man? So it was neat to kind of see that comparison. But what are your thoughts on that, man? Have you kind of seen the same thing?
I mean, if you look at it like, what if they think I'm dumb, you know? But look at it like, what if I make $40,000 assignment fee? You know, like you're not going to be able to do much, especially in the real estate. And you can, everybody can do something by themselves, but man, it's like taking on an elephant when you're trying to do everything by yourself. And especially when you start in Sub2 and there's just basically so many videos, so many different ways to make money in real estate. I think that's why it's so important for people that just start to figure out your avatar before you do anything. But once you figure that out, I mean, know your avatar, and then just basically you just have to get over that fear and just reach out. The community's open arms. I mean, everybody wants to help everybody win. Pace is established. He's created a community that's, you know, by far and away one of the best on the internet. And you never really see any negativity. It's all positive. You know, when you see people get these big assignment fees, everybody's cheering for them. And that's kind of hard to come by these days. So, you know, I've been really, really blessed and grateful that I've joined Sub2, and, you know, from Sub2, I got, you know, the opportunity to join this group too. So it's definitely a win-win to be around people that want to see you win.
I would totally agree with everything you said, bro. It's a totally different experience the other side of the road, man. And if people can start working on their mindset and get over some of the fears that hold us back, and just acknowledge that, dude, everybody here just wants to see you win. We want to help you out. We want to, you know, be a resource in any way that we can. You know, just a lot of those fears and thoughts that we get in our own head are what keeps us stagnant. And it's interesting that a lot of times those are nowhere even near the reality of the situation. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that, man. What's been the biggest thing for you that has kind of transformed where you were prior to coming into the program, and then maybe your biggest takeaway coming out of it?
I would say definitely specific goals, getting real clear on my goals, and then, you know, reverse engineering how I'm going to get to that. But then time blocking for me was it was a game changer. It was so many times. Yeah. You know, there'd be so many times that I would even write stuff that I wanted to do the next day, and then 9 o'clock would come around and I'm like, two of the things I didn't have done. And I just said, well, I'll get to them tomorrow, you know, and then tomorrow comes, then the weekend comes, and then next month comes. It was just a snowball effect. And now I'm specific on, I know exactly when I'm getting up. I time block everything throughout my day. And that way, before I go to bed, I can look and say, okay, I got that done. I got that done. And then you kind of take that momentum into the next day. But it's good to where, you know, you don't want to overextend yourself. You don't want to say, well, tomorrow I'm going to do 25 things. You know, but even if you do 3 to 5 things, but they're intentional and they're specific to your goal, and you do that for a couple months, it's just it's a map. You know what I mean? It's like, it's direction to get to your goal. It's going to happen if you put the work in.
Absolutely. 100%, bro. Yeah. When it comes to just really seeing big changes in your personal development, in your business, anything, it really comes down to just, there are certain things that successful people, that millionaires and billionaires, that they're all doing. We've all got the same 24 hours, man. And just these little freaking changes. I think a lot of people think it's just this, that people just know things that we don't know. And it's really not the case, man. It's just really learning how to get more intentional with our habits, our skills, our time, and where we can leverage other people for the, you know, for the resources that we don't have, whether that's time or you know, money, or, you know, whatever that is, certain skills. So yeah, dude, awesome, bro. Awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. Thank you, man.
Yep.
So where are you at in your business right now before I let you go? Like, what are some of the things you're looking for? How can people reach out to you? How can they JV with you? How can they make money with you? What are you working on right now?
Right now, as far as real estate, we're just doing direct to agent in Nashville area and Kansas City. I'm in the Watermelon Challenge. We're just looking for deals. Being able to talk to some agents, you know, and that kind of comes to the teach to learn too. There's a lot of agents that we've spoken to that they really don't know about subject to. So that kind of gives me an opportunity to teach. And when the questions arise that I don't know, I make sure that I find them out from people that are, you know, a lot more educated than me and get back to them. And some of them are very surprised, and it's kind of funny to kind of, you know, hear their voice like, wow, I've been doing this 20 years and I had no clue about this. And it's like, hey, Pace Morby, you know, it's and I think the more open-minded that real estate agents are about this, I think it's great, because man, we don't know where, you know, interest rates are going. Nobody knows anything. So it's just another skill in your tool belt that everybody should have, you know, and especially when you're talking to agents, to kind of help them out if they're open-minded about it, and let them know what it's all about.
Oh yeah, bro. Well said, man. Awesome. Is there anything you're looking for right now? Like resources wise, anything that you're needing right now?
Probably for, you know, when I get some, and I know Carlin was all about this too, and I've just been slacking, but as far as underwriting deals, basically, but that calculator that you sent over for the Waterwater Challenge makes it really simple too. So
okay, cool. So that's working for you then. I've had a handful of people that are like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Oh wait, I just clicked this, and okay, cool. Now it's working.
Yeah, because when I first opened it up, it only had like 2 lines, and then you got to input stuff and hit enter, and then it all come up. So I was a little confused too when it first came, but it seems it's pretty you know, it's pretty simple to use, I think, once you get kind of the hang of it.
Awesome. Cool. Right on, brother. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Of course. Is Freddie still at work, or what's he doing?
Here he is.
Yeah, I'm still.
There he is.
I'm still here.
Just making shit happen, man.
Oh, I don't ever get to leave this place.
Waiting for a bus or something, or what?
No, I'm in the back room. My employee's not feeling great, so he's sitting in my chair in the office.
Oh, okay.
I gave up my chair so he could feel better.
Dude, here in a couple months, dude, you're gonna look like David Lee Roth.
I don't know who that is, but cool.
Probably too young to get that joke, man. You'll have to Google David Lee Roth after this.
Oh, I guess I'll have to.
Well, what's going on, dude?
Oh man, not a whole lot. Just taking it day by day, bro. That's the way it goes. Trying to do what I can. Trying to get out of this W-2s in as best in the best way I know how. Hi, Cody. That's Cody. Cody's an awesome dude. Everyone.
Yeah. I love Cody, dude. Fredward Lee Roth, bro.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is freaking cool. I like that. That may stick, Cody. We might have to change his nickname within our group messenger chat to Fredward Lee Roth. I like that. Cool, man. Well, tell everybody who doesn't know, man. Tell us a little bit about, you know, where you were a couple months ago, you know, before starting the program. What were you working on? What were you doing?
So I would say, you know, I met you through Carlin in March. And before that, all I knew was go to work hard, make money, pay bills, you know, put into a 401k, and hopefully I'll retire at some point.
Yep. Same thing we were all taught, right? You got to work 30 to 40 hours a week for 40 to 50 years and retire.
It's longer now.
40%.
Yep.
And you know, one day I just decided I was sick of it. I'm, you know, the corporate psychobabble that happens all the time. The look at me, you know, nothing is about a lot of these, you know, corporations and things like that. They're top down. So it's, you know, they're designed to make those at the top look good. Like, and the higher you go, the more it's about making yourself look good rather than caring for the people who work for you and all of that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, after 10 years in the retail corporate world, I've had enough. And I started looking for that thing that was going to get me out of this job. And, you know, I stumbled across Gary Vaynerchuk and Grant Cardone and
Gary V.
Yeah, that guy is awesome. I love that guy. But
Father V.
and then I read Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. And that really made that made such a huge shift. Like it was at that point that I realized, you know, okay, this is where I need to make my pivot. This is where I need to shift.
How long ago did you read that book?
I'd say I finished it the end of February this year.
Okay.
So, and then I went and I started my, I went and got my IT support degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, you know, a certified IT professional, and
Right.
I created, you know, I got my LLC and started my IT business. And then, and I was just posting, you know, motivational videos and you know, things about real estate. I stumbled across a few Pace Morby videos and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Posted them on my Facebook or shared them. And then Carlin reached out to me one day and she was like, "Hey, there's somebody you should meet. I think that the direction that you're going, this person is going to be able to help you in more ways than you've ever imagined." And so I set up a call with you. Missed the first one, mind you. Missed the first one. I don't know if you remember that.
You're so
I
pissed
forgot about that, dude.
Oh,
I
man.
got such an angry call.
I forgot about that, man.
Oh,
Wow.
man. I called Carlin and I was like, Carlin, I made a mistake. I fucked up. And then I made the next call, and, you know, I had
Man.
somewhere along the lines, you know, watched a bit of information or read a bit of information or something like that about, you know, when you're trying to meet with somebody or you're trying to make a jump into the next portion of your life.
Yep.
You have to separate yourself from that jump.
Yep.
And you have to learn to lead with value, essentially, right? That's the concept that I learned later that you showed to me. But essentially, you know, you have to lead with value when you want to get into the areas that you want to, you know, get into and meet the people that you want to meet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I set up that second call with you and you and Chris, and you guys had just started your Facebook group. You were doing the podcast, but you had just started the Facebook group. And, you know, with my technical skills and things like that, I was like, hey, maybe these guys could utilize this resource that I know about, you know. And so I went and I pulled the logo from the House of Cards and created a Discord server for you guys and all this other stuff. And, you know, we hopped on that phone call, and I really didn't even give you a chance to speak at all. I was like, hey, wait. So before we start this, let me show you what it is that I want to bring to the table. Let me show you what I can do. And let me try to, you know, provide you with a resource that I have and that I can do. And in my mind, all I wanted to do was just, you know, manage the Discord server and the Facebook pages and all this other stuff. I never even thought it would be, you know, something big and so life transforming. But, you know, we hopped on that call and I presented the Discord server to you and stuff like that. And from what I gathered, it was mind blowing to you. You know what I mean? Like, nobody had ever done something like that for you before. And that was what really solidified in my mind that I was doing the right thing and I was going down the right path.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, when I met you, I didn't know a thing about real estate, not a thing. I knew that's what I wanted to do. My plan was to take the money that I made doing IT support and invested in real estate.
Mhm.
And it completely shifted and turned into a different direction where it was like I haven't really done my IT support business is just kind of there. Like, I've been learning from you the last 8 weeks. And
You know what was interesting though? Speaking of like the IT stuff, before we even started talking about real estate or anything else, I mean, we were talking about just how you could leverage your skills and in IT and build something for like real estate entrepreneurs and sell it for like $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah.
And I remember like you having that epiphany, and you're like, fuck, man, like really? 4 or 5 grand? Like, why have I been shooting so low?
No, 100%.
You know, huge
Absolutely.
paradigm shifts, man. And I know that because I had like the same thing happen to me, dude. Like, you know, you have all these aspirations of, you know, like we were talking about when we grow up, man. Like I was always told that, hey, if you make $100,000 a year, like you are fucking, like you're killing it, bro. You're doing amazing things, you know? And then when I told other people that are doing 100 grand a week, what my dreams are, they're like, bro, Jesse, come on, man. Like, why are you shooting so low?
100 grand.
And it was just this huge paradigm shift, man. So, but yeah, dude. So now you're crushing it in real estate. Now you're the next Pace Morby.
Not quite, but I appreciate that. That's funny. No, 3 months ago, basically, I didn't know anything about real estate. I was not in the right mindset. You know, I was still in the employee mindset, nowhere near the entrepreneur mindset. You know, I had my own LLC and I had a business idea and all of this other stuff, but I didn't have that 1% understanding. You know what I mean? That's different from the 99% of people.
What do you mean by that? What does that mean? Because I feel like that's such a profound statement for you to make.
So the difference between the 1% and the 99% is how you think about things. It's how you, it's the understanding that if you shift your mindset to, you know, to a growth mindset rather than a, can you feel the word for me there?
Scarcity.
Growth versus a scarcity mindset.
Well, yeah, I guess you could say it's that. Yeah, you know, like when you go from being stagnant to growing and just jumping through hurdles and ladders that you know seemed like mountains to you before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything good that happens to you, the money, the relationships, everything like that, it's all a byproduct because you think differently. You think, you know, time blocking, intentional action, goal setting, you know, accountability, all of that stuff, all of the things that we're taught within the Growth Co. That's the 1% mindset. And being able to apply that to my life has, you know, changed everything so dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I've been, you know, like I said, 3 months ago, I didn't know anything about real estate.
Yep.
And now
you're buying a house, dude.
And now we're, you know, we're about to close on the first rental property. And
Good
it's like
freaking night. In 3 months' time, you went from knowing nothing about real estate to buying a property. Now you're going to go buy up all of Miami next month. Where does it end with you, Fredward Lee Roth?
It doesn't end.
How do we get on your level, man? Gosh, damn, dude.
Connect with me, brother. That's all you got to do.
Yes.
Love it, dude. Well, speaking of which, so I just want to touch on a couple more things real quick before I let you go. So you've gotten a lot of clarity, a lot of direction. You've gotten more intentional with your goals, the direction you're going, and the people that you want to align with that are going to get you to where you want to go. And if you don't have those people right now, you at least know how to go find those people, which is paramount. So what is like, just talking about clarity real quick, because when Michael and I were talking, we were talking about just how easy it is to get scatterbrained, to do kind of everything on your own, and what that leads to. And it's interesting from I'd like to get this from your perspective, because you never really had the opportunity to try to do everything on your own. Right from the get-go, you and Carlin had a conversation, you and I had a conversation, and right from the get-go, the only thing that you knew was, oh wow, this is how you do it right. So you got real serious on the clarity, the direction, what your day-to-day needed to look like. And now, for everybody who doesn't know, dude, like what is your avatar?
So I'm a connector.
You're a
So my
connector. What does
avatar
that
is
mean?
connector.
How can everybody else who's watching and will be watching later, how can they work with you?
So
Why should they work with you?
So I've been in the customer service industry and the retail industry for over 10 years.
Mhm.
So, when I met you guys, that was the pivot and shift. But you have to understand, up until that point, I was doing everything myself.
Mhm.
Nobody got me where, I'm 27 years old now. I've been a manager since I was 17 years old. So I've been managing, leading, and guiding people since I was 17 years old. And I've been doing that myself, figuring everything out myself, trying to make processes efficient all by myself,
Yep.
all of these things. And then when I met you guys, that's when the shift happened,
Mhm.
where I was able to understand that, hey, I need to rely on these other people
Yep.
to help me.
Yep.
And so, I went my whole life. I've been, a middleman essentially. I have the best user experience around.
Mhm.
I tell you, my customer service voice went to Harvard. That's what I tell everybody. And so, but that comes from the depths of my heart, because
Mhm.
I love to make people smile. I love to see positivity in people, and just being the one that can change somebody's day to make it better.
Mhm.
From it being the worst day they've ever had to just being the best day that they've ever had.
Yeah, you're a
That's
peach
the
like
kind
that.
that's the kind of user experience that I provide to everybody. And so fitting right into the connector avatar,
Uh-huh.
where my job is, the connector avatar is I have the best user experience, I have the best connections, I know the best people, and let's work together, and I will help you solve any of the problems that you have, even if it's not real estate related, even if you're having life problems, no matter what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to wear my heart on my sleeve all the time, and just provide sunshine to people every single day. And so that's what put me into the connector role.
Love it, dude.
And so
So right now you're connecting people who need closers, if people need money, if people need buyers. Like, you're kind of just building your list right now of the who's who of real estate.
Basically, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
you've got the encyclopedia. You've got the golden plate, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
yeah, kind of, basically.
You can own it, dude. You're the Moses, dude. You're modern day Moses. You're coming down. You got the 10 commandments of the who's who.
You'll have to forgive me for being so humble. That's just the way I've always been that way. But
no, you're good, dude. Humble's a good way to be.
The nice thing and one of the big things that I've learned about being a connector, right, is that it's not just about making connections with people, right? It's not just about meeting somebody and building a relationship and all this other stuff.
Uh-huh.
There has to be a certain plan to it, where I will find a solution to whatever problem you have. I don't care what the problem is. But you also have to understand that if I'm doing that and I'm providing that value to you, there has to be a give and take. You know what I mean? Like, it can't. I'm not. You come to me, and everything will flow through me, right? I will be the leader. I will be the guide. I will be the one in charge of making sure everything goes to plan 100%.
Yep.
When there's hiccups and people start getting freaked out and all this other stuff, just
you're the guy.
Keeping control of the situation and just staying, very chill. I mean, that's how I've always been. I've always been very chill.
Love it, dude.
I don't freak out or anything like that.
Well, that's awesome. That's a great way to be, dude, because entrepreneurship, real estate investing, it can be anxiety inducing at times. So it's always good to have that other person that you can connect with and rely on to kind of help balance that part out.
Absolutely.
Awesome, dude. Well, I appreciate it, man. Thank you, Fredward Lee Roth. What advice or what would you give to everybody right before you leave? Like anybody who's having trouble getting started or knowing like what to do next, or and by the way, if you guys have any questions for anybody or just in general, please throw this stuff in the chat, man. This is kind of a panel. We kind of wanted to bring everybody on and give everybody kind of an opportunity to just share a little bit about who they are, what they're working on, and you know, all the fun things. So if you guys have questions that you guys want to know specifically about the individual, the program, whatever, please feel free to throw them out there. But for everybody else, Fredward, like what parting advice would you give to give somebody?
There is nothing that you are ever going to do in your life that you will be unsuccessful at if you make every action you take intentional. If you have intention and an understanding and a path and a direction behind everything that you are doing, it's so much easier to succeed. I mean, I got this property, and I didn't do anything but find the property. I found somebody else to close it. I found somebody else to underwrite it. I found somebody else to, I found somebody else to
fund it.
Do the whole thing, fund it. Dude, yeah. I mean, it's just like it, and that's all because it didn't matter what it was. As soon as I knew what the path and direction was, boom.
Dude, I think that's super 100%. Neat. I think that is super cool coming from somebody who doesn't know anything about real estate. So coming into it, you didn't have any bad habits. So right from the get-go, you were kind of taught to think, hey, this is how a CEO would do it, and this is how I should scale. And it's obviously, it's working for you, dude. The proof is in the pudding. So super neat, bro. We're really proud of you, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you guys. All of you guys have affected me in more ways than one. Even the people that aren't in the Growth Co. Everyone that I've made some sort of friendship or relationship with, all of you have impacted me in more ways than I can thank you for. My life is going to be phenomenal, and I'm extremely excited to go the rest of my life keeping in contact with everyone and just building and doing great things, dreaming big all the time. So
let's go, Freddie.
Love it, brother. Feeling is mutual, my friend. Yeah, we're excited to see. We're excited to see you as well, and I think you're going to be here. If I was betting, man, dude, I bet you'll be leaving your W-2 here before too long, man.
So I made a decision by September 30th. I'm out.
Oh, I love it.
You'll do it.
I love it, dude.
2 months, I'm out.
You should type up your resignation letter tonight and just sit on it.
That email has been drafted for months.
Here we go, bro. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Anyways,
well, thank you, bro.
I appreciate
Love you, man.
Guys. Yeah, I gotta take off. I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, no worries, brother.
Freddie.
Take care, Freddie.
Thanks.
I love you guys. Awesome.
Bye. Love you, buddy. Have a good night.
Bye.
Dude, Freddie does have a great attitude. He's so freaking. He's so infectious, man.
He's amazing.
Mary.
Hey. You crack me up.
Dude, your name is so fun to say.
It is.
Okay. Well, it's short.
It's short?
Miri is short, isn't it?
Oh, I thought you meant like it's short for something else. Like I thought
it
there was
is
like
actually short for something else.
Are you serious, bro?
And she's not going to tell you what it is.
Dude, how did we not know this?
Well, my full name is Miriam.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Miriam
short,
with
Miriam.
it like Miriam.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Like Moses' sister.
Like Moses' sister? Okay. So Miriam. I did not know that, I don't think.
Miri is short of Miriam. Mm-hmm.
I guess it means we need to do a deal together so I have an excuse to put your full name on a contract.
Okay. Yeah, right. I always have to remember when I sign things. My husband always said, Miri, write your full name. I said, okay.
You know, Miri, you are one of the very few people that I have known for a long time.
You're right.
That's pretty crazy.
Somehow we
yeah.
find each other, or I find you. Actually,
We've been no, likewise, man, and we've been through, man. We've been
interesting
through a
stuff.
lot together. Yeah, we have. It's been an awesome ride, man. I know you've been in real estate at least as long as I've known you, which has been 3 years now. Have you been in were you in real estate before that?
Oh no, I was a stay-at-home mom raising 4 children.
Oh,
That's what I
I
was
know.
doing.
I know how that goes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you in
Shy
a
of the
good spot.
breastfeeding.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I was doing. That was
Okay.
my full-time job.
Okay. And so how have the last 3 years been for you, and where are you at now? What are you working on?
Well, my real estate was, to be very transparent, was quite rocky from the beginning.
Uh-huh.
A lot of things happen, not as planned, but I'm a kind of person that don't give up.
Mhm.
I understand that in any journey in life it could be a lot of time that you're not going to achieve what you want right out of back. It takes
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
So for me, we had to go through some little hell before we got to where we are. Not to say that I am where I want to be, but I'm 10 times better place that I've been when I started. And mainly is because what we all spoke here, it's understanding that I don't have to do everything by myself. Really, this is a huge game changer for me. I felt like I did something and I got stuck because there was other steps that I knew of them, I understood them, but I wasn't really good at them,
Mhm.
or I didn't really want to learn everything. I
Mhm.
just really, I'm one of those people that I understand. I don't want to know everything. I don't have to. I mean,
Right.
I know enough to understand the full picture, but I don't need to be expert in every step of the way.
Right.
So that was one thing. The other thing, I do like to work with other people. I'm a
Mhm.
people person.
You are.
I don't live in an island. I don't think we meant to be living in an island. So I enjoy that. But this program brought me clarity and focus that I've never had before. Um, I'm really in an amazing way. It's not only helped me to have clarity with my business, that I finally can see that, like Angels keep telling me it's going to happen. It's like I feel just that momentum, really like a rising tide, which is awesome. And it changed a lot of things, even in my personal life, the way I was handling relationship. Uh, I am a people person and very positive in general, but this gave
Mhm.
me even more, more depth to it, which is quite amazing. I absolutely
Interesting.
love it. So you really, and a lot about mindset. So mindset is, sometimes people say, oh, it's cliche, it's overrated, but it's not. It's everything. The way you look at life, even
Yeah.
the little things, and it helps me to helps other people to see it, and it helps me with my children, my
Yeah.
grown kids that go through all different challenges and obstacles
Mhm.
to get the best out of every situation. Just to learn that, I keep telling them, your life going to change. Why wait till you're 58? Do it now in your 20s.
Right. Right.
The life will be better. So yeah, it's been a very very good journey the last 8 weeks. Yeah.
Well, I
Very
noticed. Thank you for sharing that. I noticed you you also include like you got a 16-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I got the age right. Yep, 16. And I noticed you've included him on some of the stuff that you're doing as well.
Oh yeah, he's kind of coming in, kicking and screaming, and everything I ask him to do, because he have his own mind what he wants to
Of
do.
course.
But
We've all been 16.
oh my gosh, it's like, why you have to fight me? Can you just trust me? And it's like, but he's planning right now. He texted me this morning because I'm in Washington helping my daughter to move,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going home tomorrow. And he said, "Hey, mom, can you help me to buy the ticket to Florida?" I said, how can I use that? He's going to wait. I said, well, I think there was kind of prerequisite things that I asked you to do. Because I told him there's books like the books that we were reading. I want him to read some of the books. I don't want him to wait when he's 25. I want him to read right now.
Yeah.
So I'm playing all different cards right now. We'll see how that's going to work.
Is it working? Is he into the reading, or you think it'll maybe take a little bit of convincing?
Oh, I think there was a couple of things. Oh, so this is what I did when he was visiting his sister. What book did we read? Oh, it's the book that we just finished about reading right now. The book, and he talks about a lot of successful stories, right? How they I love the journey that he brings, like really famous people, like Famous Dave and all kind of people. So I told Jonathan, I said, I have an assignment for you. He said, what is it? I said, I want you to choose one person that you know that is very successful today, but I want you to do research, and I want you to literally lay out all the journey that person have to, because people think, oh wow, that just happened. They don't know the journey that came before, how many fail. How much they failed before that. So he said he's going to do it when he gets home, because he didn't have his computer and he didn't want to do it on his phone.
Yeah.
Excuses. But I told him, okay. So I think that's the first card I'm going to play, because I really want him to understand, because he is an entrepreneur mind. He have that.
Yeah.
But I want to hone it. So yes, I definitely want him. I'm trying to bring him with me, and just to teach him that he can do whatever his mind set on. So
for sure. Well, I love that you're doing that, and I think it's one of the most rewarding things as a parent is be able to show our kids and involve them into what what we're doing, especially from an early age. 16, that is freaking awesome. If he gets a little more receptive to it, and you guys are getting a little bit deeper into it, I think that is just absolutely phenomenal. We always want our kids to be better off than we were, and any opportunity we can to set them up or to show them something is truly a blessing. You mentioned something, man, and I wanted to jump on it, but I forgot what it was. So hopefully it comes back to me. So I'm going to write it down if it comes back to me. But you mentioned you got a lot of clarity coming through the course, and that obviously has helped you out a lot. Can you talk a little bit more on that? Like why of all things, like why is having clarity so important, and how has that helped you redefine your business and kind of understand the direction that you need to go and what you need to be doing, and obviously how all that kind of plays into your day-to-day as well?
Well, clarity gave me focus, I think, a really laser focus. And that's when I start thinking that's what's going to move the needle. I was not focused. I was like, not quite the shiny object syndrome quite, because I've been there before. I grew out of it, but it's still, I wasn't focused. I was kind of like work myself out of doing something that I really didn't. It's like cold calling, for example. So you have that fear in the beginning. Oh, I don't want to call. But when you start, I couldn't stop. I couldn't even stop going to the bathroom. I couldn't stop eating lunch because the momentum was so great. And then I didn't care if somebody yelled at me, cursed at me. I said, well, always said, well, sir, have a great day. I'm sorry that I couldn't make your day better.
Yeah.
And that will stop them in their track, But so that makes me, okay, I'm going to get up in the morning and I'm going to do exactly what I'm out to. And every day I would just continue. And it was just gave me, even if I didn't get the result that I wanted, but I knew that will get it. Eventually, this consistency, that focus and laser focus, like the blinds, like the horse, when you want him to go one. And that's the most things that I've took with me. And it got, I'm so obsessed with it that I just, with my kids, I said, you're not focused. You're all over the place. Don't. Just be good at one thing. And when you are honing that, then add something else. don't think you need to be like, I really never like that people kind of like, oh, they're good for a little bit here and a little bit. It's just like, really, what's the use for that?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
And I used to think that was great. You know, jack of all hats, you know, you're good in that, you're good in that, but really you don't really achieve, I don't think, and it's not scalable either. So that's really the most thing that I got out of it that really helped me, beside other things, you know, time blocking and thinking about goals in a different way.
Right.
So yeah, but the focus is what I was lacking.
Mm. Oh, well, good. I'm really glad to hear that. And you shared, I don't know if everybody caught it, so I want to kind of go back and hammer on what you just shared. You said you were telling your son to, hey, focus on one thing and get this down, and then go start building out this other part, or start building, you know, this next step.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's such a huge thing to get clarity on. And I'm so glad that you brought that up. I know when we talk about it in class, I like to use the metaphor of like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, he goes into the gym when he's training for Mr. Olympia. And I think from a lot of people who don't have, like if they're not in the gym or they don't understand going to the gym, because if you don't have that context, then a lot of people can relate with, it's the same as going into a business. You've never done it before, so you don't know how to build a business either. So you think you have to do everything. And so if you were to take, obviously, you know, gyms are a little more, they're everywhere, and everybody knows what it's like to go into the gym. So everybody has some more context in there, which is great. But if you had to go train to be Mr. Olympia, you wouldn't go in there for 18 hours a day and just work on every single freaking body part and hammer down on it every single day. You get no progress, and you'd have no focus. And then the next day that you did that, you'd just be exhausted and you'd be inconsistent. You know, could you imagine spending, 10 hours, 12 hours in the gym, working every single part of your body every single day, and then just feeling like, after 2 weeks, like, man, I'm working my ass off here, I'm doing everything, but why am I not seeing results?
Mm-hmm.
And most people kind of feel like that anyway when it comes to fitness. But one of the big things that Arnold did was he focused on one body part or muscle group at a time. And it isn't to say that Arnold skipped leg day, right? Because obviously Arnold ain't skipping leg day, baby.
Mm-hmm.
But he would focus on one thing. So he would focus on building his chest, and that's what he would focus on for 4 weeks. Everything that he ate, every workout routine, his macros, everything just evolved around being 1% better every single day at building that bigger chest. And everything else he was working out, he just maintained. He just maintained, worked on really refining and getting a bigger chest, setting new PRs and everything. Then at the end of that 4 weeks, like you just got done saying, you were telling your son, Mary, like you focus on that one thing, you get it up to a certain standard of where you got it figured out and you know it like the back of your hand. And then you kind of put it on autopilot or bring somebody else in to kind of help maintain that part. And you grow this other part of your business. And that's what Arnold did. He'd grow his chest for 4 weeks. Now that after 4 weeks, he's got that brand new chest, and now he just maintains it. Right. And then he goes and maybe he works on his legs, building his legs as much as he can over the next 4 weeks, and then just maintains his legs and his chest. And then he goes and builds his new arms or a back or whatever, but he's working out everything. He's just maintaining everything. So yeah, I'm really glad that you shared that. I think having clarity and understanding where your avatar is and why understanding that is pertinent. So you can get really, really granular and intentional, as Freddie says, with growing that one thing or that one skill, and then you start building out other parts of your business. And it's a great way to scale fast, and it is a great way to make sure that you're not becoming the employee in your business, because that's not what we want. I think most people find themselves in this jail, so to speak, of just being an employee in their business. They're on the phone all the time, they're calling anybody and everybody, following up with sellers and title companies, and they got to call buyers, and that's not what we want. And so I love that you said that. Just clarity is such a huge part of learning how to properly scale and build a business, making sure you have that foundation so you know what these next steps and these next milestones in your business are going to be. Yeah, I love that. Well, I'd like for you to kind of share with everybody. What is it? What does your business look like right now? What are you in need of? Like, how can people reach out to you to work with you? What are you looking for? Where can you be of service?
Well, I do mainly right now direct to sell, direct to agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I do a lot of calling, and I'm building relationship, and I'm getting working on some deals. Eventually, what I would like to do is, as you suggested last time when we spoke, to just really hone that for the next 90 days, really get good at that, so I can maybe move that to somebody else. And I would love to move to do more like the underwriting is something I understand, but I'm not always, it's not my skill.
Sure.
So I usually reach out to Carlene, to Angel. They've been very awesome helping.
Yeah.
But that's what, if I can just do the calls and create that momentum and have people to do that for me, that's awesome. Then I don't have to, to be spread thin and thinking, okay, wow, I'm just calling, but I don't know what to do with those leads,
Right.
So, and I've been kind of like, I'm working on somebody that I have. It's actually off. It's not on a market. It's off market deal, and it's not in my state. But I was like, okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to find somebody that can be boots on the ground, take pictures, and I just did it. I just like. I have the pictures. Now I can assess my offer and try to negotiate that. But I don't want to do all of that by myself. Does that make sense? So
100%.
So that's where I am. But I really want to, as I said, as you suggested, I want to really focus on that of calling and getting really, really, really good to, how did you say, to qualify and disqualify?
Yes.
Quickly.
Yep. Refining
so
that
I
process.
Can move on and then knows where I'm following up in the next couple of weeks, but just keep focus on that so I can see a result and then move to the next thing. So,
Love that. Okay. Well, remind me, let's talk offline as well, because I've got some more information I think that that might be really helpful for you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Thank you. What real quick, what parting words? Do you have any parting words for anybody who's watching? It's like, man, this is awesome.
Yes,
like, clarity.
Absolutely. I do. I mean, if anybody here that listening is actually brand spanking new, I would suggest really to first of all to work on mindset, that to try to get rid of fear, and then not to be afraid to reach out to people and to be transparent. I think it's awesome if somebody calls me, like I'm using this girl in Memphis, and I chat with her, and she's not doing yet real estate, but she wants to start. But just be transparent with people. Tell them what you know, what you don't know, and tag with somebody that's willing to take you a little bit under the wing and learn, and try to bring something to the table to help. Even little things, sometimes just teeny little things can help.
Yeah.
But not to be afraid. We all have obstacles, and have fun. The best thing is have fun and meet a lot of people.
I think that's all of it right there. I was actually on a Zoom with Pace right before we jumped in here. And he said the same thing. It was just a great reminder. It was like, hey, you know what? There's people that leave their jobs as doctors, making 250, 300 grand a year to do this. And they understand that, hey, even in 3 and 4 years from now, like there's no cap. I'm not capped at $250,000 or $300,000 a year. There's no cap doing this. And so for people who are just jumping into this, it's important that, because you brought up mindset, it's important to make sure that you understand that, hey, this whole thing is a journey. And we're here to make money. There's no ceiling. There's nothing. Screw making 250 grand or $300,000 a year. There's people making that, a week in real estate, just wholesaling. And so, but above all, it's important to make sure that you enjoy the journey and that you're having fun with everybody. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
I love that you hammered down on that. So awesome, Mary. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thanks.
Looks like we got Danny in the car and we got Darina. Hi, friend.
Hey.
Oh, you're on mute.
You're on mute, Darina.
you.
Hi.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Yes, sorry, I missed. Yeah.
Yo, you're good, man. You're good. How's the day going? How's everything going?
It's good. I was helping my husband with like ordering some material for the fix and flips. Overall, do we talk about like course?
Do what?
Do we talk about course?
Yeah, you can talk about whatever you want. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get everybody on here and give everybody a chance to kind of share who they are and what they're working on and just how the course is going, some of their big takeaways. So anybody watching, might be able to take some of these nuggets and go implement them or go do something with it. And obviously, any value that anybody's watching that they can come and bring to you and find out how they can work with you as well. We'd love to figure out how we can do that.
So we do fix and flip in Minnesota and Florida. We have Airbnb in Florida, a couple of them actually, and I just started doing TC. So overall, I'm grateful and thankful for the course because I believe everyone. I was talking to Chris today that we got so much clarity and step by step, because even now I'm doing so many things. I wish I would go back and start from one thing and I would learn it really good, and then I will start doing another thing. For example, I would skip, like if I would go back, I would skip Airbnb and focus on some other thing and just make them work for me, and after that I will go and start another thing. But yeah, we have what we have. We have in Tampa, and we just should start another one Airbnb in Orlando with Hanmai. I believe everyone should know who is Hanmai.
Yeah, that guy's a rock star, man. So you guys are partnering with Hung on an Airbnb?
So I had a conversation with my husband. That's kind of so interesting when we have some vision and then we make it a reality, because Han is my friend and I'm really grateful for him. He's always answering my phone. He's always help. And without him, I couldn't even do the Airbnb in Tampa, because when we got the deal from another Sub2 student, again, I wasn't marketing. I just bought Sub2. So I got this deal and I called Han, like, Han, can you run numbers and see if I should buy it or not? And he was driving, he pulled over, he ran numbers for me, and he like, yeah, you're good to go. So we went ahead, signed a contract. Like it a nice deal. Yeah, we love that house. And he helped with like this. Again, it's like who, not how, because I couldn't do that without him. So same, the course teaches us we cannot do like everything by ourselves. It's just impossible.
Right. Well, you wrote the book on Who Not How.
Yes, at least I have it.
So how long have you guys owned that property in Orlando?
December 24.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you guys have been Airbnb in this thing for a good 7-8 months.
Yes, it makes between 5,000-8,000. It's nice. And we looked up Sub2 2.8 interest when everyone was getting like 6-7%. And I got this deal from Samsung. The only issue it has HOA, but then Han was like, just do it.
So have you guys had any issues with the HOA?
Not yet. We had issues with neighbors, but I talked to them. I sent them gift cards. Again, Andras, he's leader in Sub2. He recommended me lawyer for short-term rentals, and he recommended me to talk to every neighbor. So HOA will not even know about anything like when neighbors in a good mood.
There you go. So you're sending them like gift cards to TGI Fridays and the Cheesecake Factory, and they're pretty happy about that.
So they could spend everywhere. I paid extra, so they got this like cards, like Visa cards.
Man,
Yeah,
that's
and
gold.
then
That's gold right there.
so one guy was screaming actually at me, and he was like screaming to my guests, and then and to my cleaners. So when I came to the Tampa, after I sent those gift cards, after I talked to him on the phone, he was like, "Hi, Dorina."
I want to be your neighbor.
Is that
Yeah,
something you
but
continue to do, or was it like a one-time thing?
so I hired one neighbor. Again, Han recommended me to hire neighbor to cut the grass. So you build relationship, you pay them, and then they your friend, you know. So again, it's who not how, and that's all about the course that it teaches us how to use this connection and how to actually get more of these connections. Because like the more people you know, the right people you know, even with this group we have now, like it's so awesome. For example, I love Carlin and Angel. Everyone is so awesome here. So we got even like from this group we got so much connection because we have accountability partners, and we kind of sharing our life, and we getting to know more about each other and how can we help and grow together. So same, and I didn't finish my story about Han. So I was sitting with my husband, and he was like, I was talking about Han a lot to my husband, and he was like, okay, he's such a cool guy. We need to like to collaborate with him somehow, to partner. And I called him the same day. I was like, Han, my husband said we need to like partner on some deal. And he was like, oh, I have one deal. I need a partner now. I was like, cool. What do you need? You know, he was like, yeah. So we partnered with him. We brought the fund, like half of the funds, and yeah, and it will passively. We will have income passively without doing anything. I just sent him funds.
Oh wow.
And we will get our funds back within like 8 or 9 months, and we will start cash flowing, the same as we would buy like for different properties for long term, you know.
Yep.
Because it's Orlando, it's like
Oh my gosh.
crushing over there.
So you guys are at over 100% cash on cash on this thing.
Yes, yeah, it will be amazing. And he already like he's sending us pictures, and I'm in the group where this he does professional work, and that's what he learned, like teached me that, you know, you have to hire a designer, you have to be the best in the industry. So that's kind of how he does it.
Very interesting.
That's
well,
how we
going to
got
be
like
reaching out to you.
Yeah, because we for our Airbnb, my husband will like, we can furnish it by ourselves. Why would we pay like designer, you know, the thousands of dollars for just designing it? And I was like, no, Han said we need designers. So so we hired his designer, the one that he used before, Han's one. So they came and they did an amazing job. So then after we finished, my husband was like, so good that we listened to Han.
Oh, amazing.
Because when someone is expert, you want to go to the expert and ask them what to do, right? Same
Absolutely.
with Freddie. He didn't know what to do, but he had people, he had you, and then you could like direct him. So it's kind of cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Miguel wants to know what your buy box is in Tampa. He looks like he's doing some wholesaling there and would love to send you some deals.
Oh yeah, let's connect. Can I post? I will post my. I cannot actually.
If Miguel's still watching, Miguel, reach out to Dorina, or you can reach out to me and I'll send you Dorina's.
Instagram. If you can send me message,
there you go.
And we will talk.
Go slide into Dorina's DMs on the gram.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Cool. Awesome. Well, Dorina, for everybody, I'm sure everybody doesn't know, but you really made this whole thing possible, man. Like this whole coaching course. We connected a year ago. I think it was in June, a year ago this month, and you just inspired me, and you really planted that seed and encouraged me, like, Jesse, hey, this is something you need to be doing. And so, dude, I'm never going to let you forget for the rest of your life just how much you have impacted me, and I can't begin to describe like my gratitude for you and your friendship. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you and your son and your husband at some point. Yeah, very grateful for you. This has just been an amazing ride and very appreciative of you for being a part of it. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank
Of
you.
course.
I appreciate you. And you did it happen. You know, I planted the seed, but then you had it inside of you. And yeah, because you teach like a father, you know, you really care. So that's huge difference because you have passion for it and you have knowledge to share. So definitely you have a lot to share. And also the way you describe, you know, even about goal setting, it was like hard for me even to understand not to just set goals, but to set them in a right way.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Also like
yeah, no,
time
thank you.
blocking and all the documents, like you prepared for the course, like you were working hard to make it happen.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, thank you for setting this off. And it's funny because there's a saying, the right conversation with the right person is something that could change your entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And Darina, you were one of those people for me.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you. Absolutely.
You invested so much time and energy and everything. Yeah, because you also changed our life and keep changing it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to doing some more deals and stuff with you. Before you leave though, what is some like advice or insight or wisdom that you would impart on anybody watching? Just something you've taken from the course, something you're doing now, something you've learned. I know we've kind of done a lot over the last 8 weeks and we've talked about it, some of it a little bit.
Yeah, I think we have to have right people around us. And we have to have like clear goals. And maybe I'm still learning how to stop distracting myself. Even now, I was late for the show. Yeah, so we need to, and it also helps, to talk to like-minded people, to go to right places.
100%. Well, thank you very much, Darina. I appreciate you. I love you. God bless you and your family. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week and an awesome night. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll see if Danny's able to talk. There he is. He's been kind of cutting in and out.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
You and Freddie with your facial hair, dude.
Yeah, good. Oh yeah. Yeah, I joined in on my other phone and then the audio just stopped working for some reason. So I kept trying to join back and then I pulled out. This is why it's important to have two phones. When one doesn't work, you use the other phone. So it's working on the other phone now.
His other phone, speaking like a true billionaire. Let me pull out my bat phone real quick. Classic.
Got to pull out the backup. The backup's working, so we're good to go.
Awesome, dude. Where are you headed?
I'm headed home. I just met up. So I'm in astro flipping as well. I just met up with like a new student, just trying to get a game plan of what he's going to do, how I can help him, and how we can just provide value to each other. So I'm on my way home now.
Oh, dope, man. Awesome. All right. Well, do you got a couple minutes? Because I don't want to keep you on here long, and I would hate for us to see like your car flip or something live while this is streaming because we were talking to you. No, dude. For everybody who's watching, real quick, what are you doing right now? What are you working on? I mean, I know I met you and Larry probably about 9 or 10 weeks ago, right? Like right before we started the course. Yeah. I came on. You were on with Larry's podcast, and we were just kind of shooting the shit back and forth and talking. And yeah, for everybody who doesn't know, to share a little bit about yourself, your business, what you're doing. Obviously, you're an astro. You know, where were you? Where were you 8 weeks ago? And then, you know, where are you right now? What are you working on?
So where I was 8 weeks ago, I was down in the pits a little bit. So I had a couple properties that I lost some money on, and I was letting it consume me way too much, like a flip and a rental. So I was just like obsessed with the fact of like, oh, how am I going to get this money back? Am I going to be able to get this money back? And it was preventing me from like, what would I say? Working towards more opportunities. It was holding me back. So, I mean, over the process of the course, I never see any of that money ever again.
Oh, is he cutting out for you guys, or is it just me?
To where I don't do that. Yeah, it did. Am I good now? I saw that it did cut out for a second.
Yeah, we can hear you. There's a delay on the image, but that's all right.
Oh, okay. But so I just got to the point where I was like, honestly, I'm happy with the loss because I learned so much that in the future I know what to do, what not to do. And it's all just life is all about learning, you know, and doing your best to improve every single day. And that's what it's about. It's the growth code. You're always trying to grow, So that's one thing I realized is just always focus on the growth and don't focus on things that won't make you grow. You know, like me focusing on like, I just lost 30,000 on this house. Oh, this sucks. I can't believe this happened. And then just like telling everyone about it and not doing anything proactive and just letting it consume me. I'm like, that's not going to allow me to grow. What's going to allow me to grow is taking a step back, looking from the outside and saying, okay, this is what I did wrong. And when I get to the next one, I'm not going to do this. And let me just focus on everything else and just not let this consume me. So that was my big thing. It's just being able to let things go. And like in that process, I had a partnership that also fell apart as well. So it's just knowing that everything has its way of working out, even if it doesn't seem like it in the moment. Because I was really going through it. And honestly, I mean, I think at one point you could say I was like slightly depressed because I was like, man, like what happened? Like I was doing so good last year and now I'm just suffering and all this happened. And it's like, what's the point? And I'm like, it took a while to get out of that. But this course definitely helped me out, and just everything else. Like I started talking to people more again because I kind of shut myself out a little bit. And that was a big thing. Just talk to more people because people want to help you and people want to grow with you. So allow that to happen. Don't shut people out. And I know I wasn't I was probably one of the most quiet people in it as well, but I was picking up on everything else that people were struggling through and working towards. And really, all in all, it helped me out. Now, I would say now, looking back 8 weeks later, I am just focused on the future, going forward, and not letting the little things hold me back, and just really focusing on growing every day. Like, again, because for a while I was just like, oh, well, I don't really care. I was like, well, why you do care? You're just letting this consume you. So all in all, I've completely like fixed my mindset again. I've restructured because I lost that mindset a little bit. I let it slip because it's one of those things that if you don't bring attention to it on a daily basis, you can lose it. It's a constant everyday thing that you have to maintain.
Dude, that is so gold right there. I have never heard anybody like say it the way that you just did. And I don't know that I've ever even said it or really acknowledged it the way that you just articulated mindset. But like Carlin said, dude, like a lot of people think of mindset's like this woo-woo shit, you know, and it's not. It's literally once you figure out that you know, business and life, it's all mindset, dude. Like whether you think you can or you can't, like those thoughts and understanding those thoughts and how to get past those thoughts, that's the type of shit that just it keeps you from moving forward, dude. And damn, dude, you hit the nail on the head. You articulated that so beautifully. It's something that you don't just have a good mindset and then you're good. It's like going to the gym, man. It has to become like a daily practice.
Exactly.
Dude, wow. Thank you for sharing.
Dude, it's the perfect example. Of course, it's like going to the gym too. If you went to the gym for 2 years straight and you were consistent, but if you stopped going for a year, what happened? You fell off, and you're not going to be as strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
It's a great example.
And the same with anything, right? Is it whatever your avatar is? If your avatar is closing deals and you just stop talking to people, like that muscle goes away. Learning how to effectively communicate, negotiate at that level, it starts to diminish.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. I freaking love that. Okay, so mindset has been a huge thing for you over the course of the last 8 weeks, and understanding how to get past some of those circumstances and losses so that you can focus on growing and the direction that you're going. This is actually kind of cool. I didn't plan on using this metaphor, but you can't drive in your Lambo moving forward while you're looking in the rearview mirror right now, can you?
Exactly. That's why the windshield's bigger than the rear view. You know? So, yeah.
I almost thought that you were getting pulled over there, by the way, for a second when you stopped.
Oh, no, this dude behind me just got his brights on. He's going crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm dealing with it.
So what are you working on right now in your business? What is it that you need?
Right now, I've actually been like, okay, I'm to the point where I want to bring someone on my team. So how does that look? At first, I was thinking I want to do like an acquisition manager to help me pull in leads. Then actually, I don't know if any of you guys know who Ryan Zolan is. I actually sat down with him, had lunch with him when I was in Arizona. And he's like, no, because acquisitions is basically that's how you pull in the leads. That's how you get the money. He's like, well, think about this. I think your first hire needs to be a transaction coordinator. Do you like doing paperwork? Are you good at it? I mean, no, not really. And it's like, I'm really good at acquisitions. So why would I hire for something I'm really good at and then still do the thing I don't like as much?
Right.
So now that's my next move. The next property I get, I'm going to let a TC handle it because I've never brought on a TC. So that's going to be my next move. That's what my business is looking like. And as far as the real estate side of things, but I'm time blocking in a way that I'm going to start doing business outreach as well. So I'm going to be buying businesses also.
Oh shit, bro.
Yeah.
We really do got Bruce Wayne on here. Okay.
Yeah, I've surrounded myself a lot around a bunch of people that are doing business deals.
Mm-hmm.
They did real estate deals at once, and they're also doing business now as well.
Yep.
Especially like Abraham Gray and all those guys. I love Abraham Gray. He's one of the coolest.
Amazing dude.
Yeah. So I've been surrounding myself around a lot of these like deal maker people that are buying businesses, and it's another great way of like cash flow as long as you know what you're doing and partner up with the right people. So in my off time, that I originally would just be kind of doing nothing, doing whatever. Now I'm going to be focusing on businesses too and doing outreach to businesses and finding a business that's either home service or something to do with like body shops, something to do with cars, because I have a passion for cars, something like that. So it's something exciting on the side that I'm working on as well.
Gosh dang, bro. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, dude. You got a lot of stuff going on. We're really excited to kind of see where this goes, man, and to be a part of this journey with you. For everybody who's watching right now, I love that we hammer down on mindset so much, man, because it's obviously one of my favorite things. But what piece of advice would you give for somebody, who might be having trouble with mindset stuff?
Just reach out to people and talk, because you're not going to get anywhere by thinking you're going to figure it all out on your own. You're not. At least I know for me, from personal experience, I thrive off of connecting with others. So talk to people about it. Talk through your struggles, and join stuff about like focus on your mindset. Like connect with people that talk about mindset. Like me, for example, like honestly, I really love preaching mindset because like you said, you can't be successful without it. So if you see people posted about mindset, reach out to them, say, hey, I'm really struggling with mindset. Like, how did you get past this? And how did you get past that? Reach out, use your resources. There's so many people out there that want to help you.
Dude, I love that you said that. That's the truth, man. I feel like there's just this big theme, underarching theme that, we've talked about over the last 2 hours now. is who not how, dude. It's such a huge concept. There's literally so many resources, so many people that you can be working with. If you can focus in on one thing, that is your avatar. Focus in on that one thing that's going to make you money. What is it that your gift is? What are you naturally good at that you can work at and you can figure out how to get better than anybody else at that? And then go find other people who are, can come in and fill in those gaps. And those gaps in your business are other people's avatars. They're the Michael Jordan. They should be striving to be the Michael Jordan of those avatars. And whether that is something specific in your business, a specific position that needs to be filled, or simply you just want to acquire skills or learn from somebody, be a mindset or what have you, man. I love that. Amazing advice, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Of course. Well, guys, I know we're at that 2-hour mark now. I know it's getting late I see Angel, man. I see Angel. I know it's what time is it? Oh shit. It's only 9 o'clock, huh? I don't know why I think it's so late, dude. Maybe because I don't talk to Chris until like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock my time, and that mofo's still up and it's like 1 a.m. his time. So for some reason I think it's later. Not that it's not necessarily early either, but yeah, it's been 2 hours, man. This has been absolutely phenomenal. Thank you guys. Thank you for jumping on and sharing a little bit with everybody of who you are and what you guys are doing and where people can partner with and bring money or bring resources to you guys and where you guys can bring resources to everybody else as well. Does anybody have anything else they'd like to chime in and add real quick before we jump off? Oh, Angel, you're on mute. I see you talking, but you're on mute. Let me see if I can.
Sorry, I wanted to make sure I was muted for Danny because he was kind of cutting in and out. But just one thing for those of you who are considering taking the course with the Growth Co., I made a dire mistake from the beginning, and that was setting my goals too low. So please go into this knowing that your mind's going to be right. You're going to have total clarity when you leave. So make those goals attainable, but larger than you ever thought you could do, because you will come out a winner in the end. So that's really just what I want to leave people with, because sometimes I think we set ourselves up not really going for the prize, and I didn't set my goals high enough, and I wish I could roll it back 8 weeks and do it again. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I know we talked about, there's that saying, right? Most people don't miss the mark, or they're not successful. It's not like they don't reach their goals because they shot too high and missed. They shot too low and hit the target.
Right. That's right.
Dude, that is amazing advice. Thank you, Angel, for sharing that. Awesome.
Oh, thank you
guys. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. You guys are awesome. I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm really grateful for each and every one of you, and for the relationship that we have, and for the friendship that we have, the brotherhood and the sisterhood. And this isn't just an 8-week thing. We're in this till we're no longer on this planet anymore. So thank you guys. I love you guys. Hope you guys have an awesome night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.